I'm going to put out a bench warrant for your arrest.
You practice in front of bench. That's my job or my attorney job. I'm sui juris. I'm propria person.
Okay, Mr. White, I don't know where you read the stuff that you're saying, but it's legal nonsense.
I'm a beneficiary and I'm a sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace,
okay, sir.
I travel. I don't drive.
Okay.
I have no contact.
Sir, here's what we're doing, Mr. White.
We've got a firm and no-nonsense judge taking on a sovereign citizen who just won't quit, and things get tense fast. No matter how many times the judge tries to keep things on track, this guy keeps talking himself into a corner. But then he makes a critical mistake, and the judge shuts him down in the most decisive way possible. It's a moment you won't want to miss. What do you think? Did the judge handle it right? Personally, I'd say he had total control of the courtroom. Let's dive in and watch how it all unfolds.
All right, on the telephone ending in 1336, tell us your name, please.
I come in sui juris.
Only one of you actually has that phone number, and the other people are just wrong about what their phone number is. Who's calling ending in 1336?
Sui juris and personal persona. I'm Stephen hyphen Tyrell colon White comma beneficiary of sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace, and arrest. Fiduciary Daniel Williams Norbeck.
Okay, Mr. White, we're going to pop you over in the waiting room because you're just going to be a distraction for all the citizens here willing to abide by the laws of our country. So we'll pop you over in the waiting room and we'll get back to you. In case you guys have ever heard of the term sovereign citizen in the news, that's what one of them sounds like when they try to come to court.
This judge isn't messing around, strict, straightforward, and completely in control. You can tell he's not here for games. Now he's just cleared the entire docket, leaving this sovereign citizen to sit and wait. Will a little extra time make him rethink his approach? Let's find out.
All right, Mr. White, are you able to hear me?
Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to read this to you so you understand what you're charged with. This says that on January 7th of this year on 2nd Street there in the city of Fenville, that you were driving while license suspended. That is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fines and costs. Do you understand your charge?
Objection, Your Honor. I do not. I do not understand my charges or
okay, I'm going to mark you down as not guilty, and we'll set you for a jury trial. You can continue to...
Your Honor, Your Honor, you practice in front of bench. You practice in front of bench. That's my job or my attorney job. I'm sui juris. I'm propria person.
Okay, Mr. White, I don't know where you read the stuff that you're saying, but it's legal nonsense. It means nothing in a court of law. So if you're not willing to state that you even understand or recognize the authority of the court, my options are I can make you come in for arraignment and not give you a PR bond, and then you'll have to post bond to not sit in jail. You want to do it that way instead? Right now, if I get through arraignment with you, I'll give you a PR bond. Mr. White?
I don't listen. I'm asking you a question.
What's the question, sir?
I'm not arguing with you, Your Honor. I just want you to hear me. I just want you to hear me.
Okay, but I don't want to listen for 20 minutes. Go ahead and ask your one question, and we'll start there and see if it's a real question.
Am I on the record?
Yes.
It's not going to take 20 minutes, Your Honor. I'll give you my word.
Well, you said you have a question, sir. What's the question you want to ask?
Is this criminal or is it civil?
This is criminal, sir. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fines and costs.
Hey, if it's criminal, can I ask to dismiss the charge?
Pick a struggle, my guy, because you're already losing this one. And no, you can't just get the case dismissed. Do you even know how trials work? Spoiler, you're not in one yet. This is just a hearing, but that's not stopping him from throwing around legal jargon like he's a seasoned attorney. The way he's talking, it's obvious he has no clue what's happening. Like sir, this is the legal equivalent of a tutorial level, and you're already failing hard. What do you think? Should the judge just shut this down or let the disaster unfold for another 20 minutes?
Because at this point, the prosecutor, there's no sworn testimony, there's no sworn
It's because this is just arraignment, sir. What you're talking about is trial. That would be several steps down the road. Arraignment is just for you to make sure that you understand what you're accused of, what the penalty is, and for you to enter a plea. You're accused of driving while license suspended. I read to you what the possible penalties are, and I asked you if you wish to plead guilty or not guilty at this time.
No, with Your Honor, I'm a beneficiary and I'm a sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace,
Okay, sir, those sentences don't mean anything. They have no legal meaning whatsoever.
It's guaranteed by
So
my
I've
constitutional
indicated that since you can't understand arraignment, I've entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I've set you for a jury trial. You can represent yourself free of charge, or you could hire an attorney. And now you must make a choice, sir, for bond. If we get through the arraignment with you on Zoom, I'm going to give you a PR.
This judge is out here playing chess, while this two-brain cell genius is still struggling with checkers. And honestly, I love his approach. You can tell he knows exactly what he's doing, no falling for the usual sovereign citizen nonsense. A lot of judges fumble with these guys. They either get too frustrated or let them ramble on forever. But this judge, he's shutting it down while staying completely professional. It's honestly refreshing to watch. Like, if you've ever seen Judge Oakley, you know he tends to just yell at defendants, which, hey, that works too. But I really respect how calm and confident this judge is. He doesn't need to raise his voice to stay in control. That said, I know some of you might think he's being a little too harsh. What do you think? Personally, I think he's handling it perfectly, but let me know in the comments if you disagree.
Personal recognizance bond. That means you don't have to post any money. We're essentially trusting you that you'll keep coming back for your court dates. It is no driving without a valid driver's license. If you cannot get that far, in other words, if you really don't understand what's happening here, then I'm not going to allow you to be arraigned by Zoom. I'm going to set you for arraignment in person. And then you will come to this courthouse. You will not get a PR bond. You will get a $300 cash or surety bond, meaning that you will need to post $300 in cash, or you will sit in jail from that day until your trial date. So I'll give you a choice. Do you want to be arraigned over Zoom like we're doing today, or would you like to come in and be arraigned in person?
Well, I object to all of this, Your Honor, because at this point, I don't even understand the charges. I do not understand the charges. I'm not trying to.
That's fine. No, sir, you're allowed to. Sir, you're allowed to object, and I understand your sentence that you don't understand the charges. And so I will attempt to work with you for that for a second. I'm going to read the charges to you, okay? This says that it takes place on January 7th of this year. You understand that, right? The date that I just read.
I'm saying I do not. At this point, Your Honor, it's I was saying this. It was a jurisdiction matter. It's a jurisdiction matter. That's what I'm saying. It's a subject matter, jurisdiction.
Here's the problem with you arguing jurisdiction. I am a lawyer, so I understand what jurisdiction means. I'm not sure you do. The accusation is that you're driving around on 2nd Street in the city of Fenville, meaning in Allegan County, and that you're doing so when your driving privileges with Secretary of State have been suspended or revoked. Because this is the county. Yes.
Objection. I'll travel. I don't drive.
Okay.
I have no contact.
Sir, here's what we're doing, Mr. White. You are no longer able to be arraigned by Zoom. What I'm going to do is adjourn this. I'm going to adjourn this, and you will get notice at your address there. You will come in, and we will arraign you in person. I'm telling you that I'm not going to give you a personal recognizance bond, sir.
It has to be. Before we can proceed, before you can proceed, it has to be addressed, Your Honor.
Because we are on the record, I'm going to make this infinitely clear. You're going to get notice to appear in front of me. You have two choices. If you do not appear, I'm going to put out a bench warrant for your arrest. If you do appear, we will have this conversation again about arraigning you to see if you understand the charges. but you are not getting a PR bond. You will need to bring with you $300 cash or surety, or you will be in jail. Do you understand? Those two options, A and B.
That's a violation of my constitutional rights, Your Honor.
Well, no, it isn't, sir. So we're all set for today. We're done talking. We cannot make any progress. You will be asked to come in person for arraignment. You can either choose to come in for arraignment or you can choose to not be here. If you choose to not be here, a warrant will be entered for your arrest. And if you do choose to be here, make sure you bring that $300 because you're not getting a personal recognizance bond. But we are done with this hearing. I'm going to go ahead and release you. Thank you.
When's my date for court?
Yet this guy still looks lost, probably too busy reciting his little script to actually pay attention. Newsflash, this isn't a school presentation. Sticking to a script won't save you when the judge is spelling everything out. If he just listened, this could have been over with a fine, a guilty plea, or maybe even a simple class. But nope, he chose the hard way, and now he's staring down the possibility of jail. What's the goal here? To prove a point that's never worked and never will. The law isn't complicated, just show up, listen, and handle business like a rational person. But sovereign citizens would rather argue nonsense, convinced they've unlocked some secret legal loophole. Spoiler alert, they haven't. At least they make for solid entertainment. Anyway, that's a wrap. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like and subscribe for more. What do you think? Was the judge fair? I think he handled it perfectly, but some might say he was too harsh. Drop your thoughts in the comments and I'll see you next time. Take care.